He didn't break down, that he didn't complain, that he didn't even flinch when the numbers hit him. Because Carlos Alcaraz already knew the truth long before anyone calculated it. Jannik Sinner didn't just beat him on the court in 2025. He cost him $8.80 million. And the craziest part, 3 losses, just 3 matches. And the financial swing is unlike anything we've ever seen in a modern ATP rivalry. Welcome back to NETRUSHREPORT, the home of real tennis breakdowns. No filters, no PR polishing. Let's get straight into the story. Imagine this. You finish the season as world number 1, that you win 8 titles. You collect 2 Grand Slams and dominate almost every big tournament on the calendar. But when the prize money sheet is printed, someone else, your biggest rival, walks away with more cash. Not because they won more matches, not because they won more tournaments, not because they played more events, but because they beat you in the 3 matches that mattered the most financially. That is the story of Carlos Alcaraz in 2025, that despite winning 8 titles, despite beating Sinner 4 times this season, despite finishing the year at the very top of tennis, he still lost a staggering $8.87 million because of 3 losses to the Italian. And today, we're breaking it all down, match by match, dollar by dollar, moment by moment, to show you exactly how Sinner flipped the financial script. For the last 2 seasons, the ATP hasn't had a rivalry, it has had a war. Alcaraz and Sinner have been playing in a tier above everyone else, swapping the number 1 ranking, taking turns lifting majors, choking the life out of competition. Between them, they've shared the last 8 Grand Slams. They've won the last 2 ATP Finals. They've been the only 2 players to hold world number 1 since 2023, and in 2025 alone, they met 6 times. All in finals. It's not just a rivalry, it's the new Federer-Nadal-Djokovic triangle, without the 3rd point. But in 2025, something happened that even their fans didn't expect. Carlos won more titles. Carlos won more big titles. Carlos finished world number 1. But Sinner, he won more money. And he owes that entire financial edge to 3 specific battles. Let's start with Wimbledon, the cathedral of tennis, the tournament that crowns legends. Alcaraz came in as the defending champion. He had the aura, he had momentum, he had history on his side. But on that Sunday, Jannik Sinner had something else: composure, precision, fire. Sinner won the Wimbledon final and took home an incredible $4.06 million. Meanwhile, Alcaraz collected $2.06 million. That means he lost exactly $2 million because Sinner denied him the title. And this wasn't just another final. This was a $2 million power shift, the first cut, the first domino that if Alcaraz wins that match, he instantly becomes the season's prize money leader. Instead, Sinner grabs the crown and holds it all the way to Turin. But as we all know, Wimbledon wasn't the real damage. Before the world watched them clash under the lights in Turin, the tennis universe turned its attention to Riyadh, the Six Kings Slam, the richest exhibition in the sport's history. Last year, Sinner stunned everyone by taking the title. This year, he defended it, beating the world number 1 again. Sinner earned a jaw-dropping $6 million. Alcaraz earned $1.5 million for participation. Do the math. That's a $4.5 million swing. To put that into perspective, Sinner made more money in 1 match than many top 100 players earn across an entire season. And Alcaraz could do nothing but sit there, runners-up trophy in his hand, knowing that he just lost the largest prize money swing of their rivalry. At this point, Alcaraz's financial losses to Sinner were already at $2 million. Wimbledon, $4.5 million. Riyadh, equals $6.50 million. But the worst cut was still waiting. Turin, the season-ending masterpiece. The event with the biggest check outside the Grand Slams. Alcaraz had the storyline, that he had the motivation, he had the year-end world number 1 locked up, but Sinner had the arena. The entire building felt like an orange wave, roaring for the hometown hero. And when the pressure peaked, Sinner delivered again. Jannik Sinner earned $5.01 million. Carlos Alcaraz earned $2.70 million, which means the Spaniard lost another $2.36 million. Add that to the previous numbers. $2 million at Wimbledon, $4.5 million in Riyadh, $2.36 million in Turin, and you get fire $8.86 million. rounded to $8.87 million. 3 matches, nearly $9 million gone. This is the most expensive rivalry swing of the decade. This is where the story flips. Because even though Carlos lost the financial war, the titles tell a very different truth that let's compare side by side. A Sinner's 2025 big titles. For Australian Open, Wimbledon, Paris Masters, ATP Finals, Alcaraz 2025 big titles. 5 French Open, US Open, Monte Carlo, Masters, Rome, Masters, Cincinnati, Masters. Carlos actually won more big titles than Sinner. 5 to Ford, he also won. 3 ATP 500s, Sinner won 2. 8 total titles, Sinner won 6. And finished the year as world number 1. So how does the man with more trophies end up with less money? Simple. Sinner won the 3 events with the biggest checks. Alcaraz won more battles. Sinner won the most expensive ones. And that's how he became the 2025 money leader with $19.1 million. Just ahead of Alcaraz's $18.80 million. Carlos Alcaraz beat Sinner 4 times in 2025. Every single one was in a final. He has the better head-to-head this year. But here's the reality. When Sinner beats Alcaraz, it usually costs Carlos millions. Their rivalry has evolved into a pattern. Carlos wins the Masters. Carlos wins ATP 500's. Carlos wins more titles. But when the biggest risk, biggest money, and biggest pressure show up, Sinner becomes the more efficient player. This doesn't mean Alcaraz is worse. In fact, the opposite is true. He's the world number 1 for a reason. But their rivalry is perfectly balanced in a bizarre way. Carlos wins more often. Sinner wins when it's the most valuable. And that is why this rivalry is the most exciting thing in modern tennis. Because every match between them isn't just about rankings. It's about millions of dollars, legacy swings, historical records, and the psychological momentum of an entire season. This is Federer, Nadal with more fire, Djokovic, Murray with higher stakes, Sampras, Agassi with modern athleticism. This is the rivalry that will define the next decade. Now let's talk about something more important than prize money. Carlos Alcaraz's reaction, that he could have been bitter, that he could have been frustrated, that he could have said, "I finished number 1. How did someone else earn more money?" But instead, he walked off the court with the same attitude he has always shown. A smile, respect, gratitude. And that tells you everything about who he is. Because what truly separates great players from global superstars is not how they win. It's how they handle losing. And Carlos Alcaraz, he loses like a champion, that he grows from every setback. He absorbs every loss and turns it into fuel. That's why he won 2 slams this year. That's why he finished as world number 1. That's why he will continue to be a problem for the next decade. And that's why Sinner knows this rivalry is nowhere near over. So let's answer the big question. Who truly won the 2025 season? If you look at money, Sinner wins. More prize money. Bigger paycheck in the biggest tournaments. If you look at titles, Alcaraz wins 0.5 big titles, 0.8 overall. Double slam champion. If you look at rankings, Alcaraz wins. He finished number 1. He collected more points. He controlled the entire season. If you look at head-to-head, Alcaraz wins 0.4. Wins to Sinner's 2. But if you look at the moments that shook the tennis world, if you look at the nights that felt like destiny twisting itself, if you look at the matches that created history, those belong to Sinner. Wimbledon, Riyadh, Turin, the 3 stages where he didn't just beat Alcaraz, he reshaped the financial and emotional arc of the season. So the real answer is simple. 2025 had 2 winners. And their names were Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. What happens next? It's simple. 2026 will be bigger, louder, more emotional, more expensive, more unpredictable. Alcaraz wants his Wimbledon crown back. Sinner wants the year-in number 1. Both want the GOAT conversation someday. This rivalry isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. And every time they meet, the stakes go up, the money goes up, the pressure goes up, the legacy impact goes up. 3 losses cost Alcaraz nearly $9 million this year. But the truth? He doesn't care, because players like him don't count dollars. They count trophies. And he'll be back, stronger, sharper, more dangerous. And the tennis world will be right here watching every step. Thanks for watching ATP, where we break down tennis like nobody else. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Alcaraz Sinner financial war, make sure you're here for the next one, because this rivalry It's only getting started.